I'm Pete Wenner, full-time fishing guide on Table Rock Lake and tournament fisherman. And what we're going to talk a little bit about today is one of the most important pieces of equipment on my boat, and that's my batteries. And I'm here in Golden, Missouri, the home of Pro Guide Batteries. I'm here with my good friend, Pete Shoemaker. Pete, thanks for taking some time out here.
Yeah, Pete, well, I appreciate the opportunity to sit down and talk with you about Pro Guide AGM and that important piece of the boat.
Well, and maybe that's something you can tell us about right off the bat. What is it? What is AGM? And also, a lot of people are always confused on group size of batteries.
Yep. So an AGM stands for absorbed glass mat, and what that means is that instead of your conventional battery that's got lead inside each cell, and then they fill it full of water, the fiberglass paste has gone in between each plate, and they fill it up, and then it absorbs into the pads. And then once that's done and it's been charged, the process, you could cut this battery in half and there wouldn't be any fluid that is leaked out. So it's completely dry. It makes it UPS shippable, 100% sealed. You're never going to have to leak it. It's never going to need water or any kind of maintenance outside of just charging it.
Yeah, I wasn't worried at all when you set it on top of my new boat on my carpet because I know there's no acid, nothing ever leaks out of them.
Exactly.
And there's some really good things about these batteries. One thing I found is the recovery time.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of times on a regular conventional battery, when you fish for 10 to 12 hours a day, go to bed at night, get up at 5 in the morning, half the time your batteries aren't fully charged.
Yep.
On these AGMs, I find 3-4 hours, I'm 100% charged back up.
With AGM, it will recharge 40% faster than your conventional wet battery, and that's because of the plate density. So it'll take the amperage a lot higher, and it will allow you to recharge in 3 to 4 hours. It'll accept all the amperage that you're putting into it, whereas in a wet battery, it'll be dissipated out in forms of heat and things like that. So it'll recharge 40% faster. The other benefit is that it's actually much more vibration resistant. So whenever you're going across choppy water, you're not going to have to be worried about cells breaking or any sort of leakage that's going to come out of it and cause premature failure.
And I know on my boats, the last 3-4 boats I've been running these AGMs, I've just got a 10 amp per bank charger. I mean, you don't need a big battery charger or anything special. I've always found just a standard onboard charger is more than capable of charging these batteries up.
Yeah, you won't need to change your charger at all. Some chargers do have an algorithm that you can change in the settings where you change it to AGM. If you don't, that's fine. The conventional settings will charge it just fine. So there's no need to change chargers. It's not going to do anything weird to your charger. It's just a.
And it's kind of I know we've used the same battery for the crank battery. And with everything that we're running on our boats today, our crank battery is probably one of the most important batteries. A lot of us are running 2 or 3 fish finders, power poles, which are hydraulic, which are run by electricity off the battery, and then aerator pumps. And then the graphs take a lot of juice, and even all the computers on the boats.
Right. So, for instance, on the Group 31, which is rated for 800 cold cranking amps, and that does meet the specs for the high horsepower Mercury, the Evinrude, and the Yamaha. So you're going to be able to have the cranking power that you need, but also, like Pete said, with all the graphs we run today with power poles, it's going to have 110 amp hours comparatively to a Group 24 starting battery. It might have the cranking capacity that you need, but it's not going to have all the extra reserve capacity that's necessary for say, an Onyx graph that pulls 2.5 amps per hour. So if you're running 2 or 3 of those, you can really draw down that starting battery if you don't have the proper capacity.
Yeah, there's so many things drawing, juice on the boats. And I know we did a lot of real intense testing. I mean, you guys been working on a battery for several years, 7, 8, 9 years, that you felt comfortable putting your name on. And I know the first set of these that I ran in my boat for 2 years, approximately 250 days or 225 days a year fishing, so like 500 trips. We put them into another guide's boat, and he ran them for another 4.5 years without any issues. And in that stretch where he was running those, I used different batteries because we wanted to get the best battery possible before you labeled it and put the Pro Guide name on it.
Right. So we tested 3 different battery manufacturers, and we found that this was, in fact, the best battery that we could find for this application. That's why we felt comfortable putting our name on it.
Pete, thank you for taking the time out of your day to explain a little
Yeah.
bit about this new AGM battery with
Yeah,
us.
appreciate it.